Welcome to the Coffee with Karen podcast, a weekly chat show discussing everything from holistic health to current affairs from a mental, physical and spiritual perspective. Get your weekly cup of positivity with a sprinkling of woo-woo.
Welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday and this is episode 184, and today we have Svedina, who is a YouTube ads specialist. Now we're going to be talking about from leads to sales, mastering YouTube advertising and business challenges. Now I'm your host, Karen Roberts, and I'm really here to help coaches get their message heard to the people who need to hear it. Now, if you'd like to subscribe to our weekly updates, it's really easy. You can just go to karenrobertscoaching.com/guest. You may want to be a guest too. You can also download the Alexa skill for Mintwave Radio. You've just got to ask her for it. Marcus, we've had Marcus's partner on the show before, but now Marcus, he was an industrial electrician, and then he switched careers after a knee injury, and he found his way into advertising, started with Facebook, which probably is the more well-known method, and then shortly after moved to YouTube advertising. So I'm sure he'll explain why. So Marcus and Ben co-founded Titan Marketer, a digital marketing agency which specializes in optimizing sales processes and YouTube video advertising. Since 2019, they've helped over 500 business owners add an additional 6 to 7 figures to their businesses using YouTube ads. So, massive welcome to the show, Marcus.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So, and I get this, it's funny that I always say that it's almost like this is where possibly where the woo-woo comes in. The universe can give you a nudge sometimes to say you're not listening, Marcus. And you had an injury, which I'm sure at the time may have felt like that was the worst thing in the world because, what am I going to do? What am I going to do?
It was terrible. So my marketing stint, that's what you call it, my marketing journey started in 2016. And I jumped on the whole ClickFunnels affiliate bandwagon at the time. And so I tried doing that. I had to play Facebook ads for about 3-4 months and just wasted a fair bit. At the time, for me, it was a lot of money. But then I just realized that, everyone needs traffic. Right. So then I started getting into the email marketing space and whatnot. And then I started getting more into Facebook later on and helping out my current business partner, Ben, with some Facebook advertising with some his other businesses that he was doing and some people he knew and so forth. So I started getting into that, but I was just a side gig. Anyways, I went to a trampoline arena /death trap. And I was jumping. I'd say, at the time I was like 33, 32. I can't remember, somewhere on there. And I was 33 or 32. And I thought, I mean, I'm a male. What do you expect? So I was in my son Ben, and I'm jumping from one trampoline to another trampoline. And as I came down awkward, and my right knee dislocated. So the top ball of my knee, I don't know what you would call it, the top part of my knee, that slipped to the left. My ACL got severed in half. My MCL came off, so the bottom part of my PCL just completely came off, so it's just flapping in the wind. I think it's the PCL in the very back that got torn. My meniscus got damaged. I did a proper job. Set on fire. It's exactly what I felt.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, now at that time, I was what's called an instrumentation electrician, basically a glorified, overpaid, underworked electrician. I got paid for what I knew, not for what I did. And it was a good job. It was good. Anyways, I had this new job lined up. I was going to be making like 150, 160 a year, working 5 months of the year, all sorts of goodness, right? And I got a family of 6. I got 4 kids. So I'm like, sweet, this will set me up. It's good. Yeah. And I was just like, what am I going to do? Like, this is just insane. And I had to take my little side hustle that I got, and I had to make my full-time hustle, my full thing. And then my business partner, Ben, we've been friends for at that point, like 15 years, somewhere around there. And he just said, look, why don't we just combine forces? Let's just do something together. I'm like, okay, cool. So that's when we started Titan Marketer. Did YouTube, I did Facebook ads for about 6 months, somewhere around there, with one of the people. And then we discovered YouTube ads for ourselves. We'll give it a shot. And whoa, like, where have you been our whole life? Like, it was amazing. It was amazing. Like, it wasn't just the cost. The cost was, in some cases, like half, right? But it wasn't so much the cost. It was the quality of leads that we were getting coming through to some of our events, right? Some of our virtual events and whatnot. And we're just like, this is insane. And so we just went from 80% Facebook to 80% YouTube, and the rest of our budget gets spent on retargeting on Facebook and retargeting on the display network. And
wow,
we were just like, this is a gold mine, because no one's doing it. Hardly anyone's doing YouTube ads. Hardly anyone in the US. It's 8% of advertisers in the US are utilizing YouTube. 8%. And corporates and, those kind of, big softwares and insurance companies and whatnot. Anyways, so we're just like, no, we got to do something with this. So we started doing YouTube ads back in 2018, somewhere around there. And and then we took off. Way to go. I've never looked back.
And now the knee injury doesn't seem so much like the end of the world as it may have done originally.
It doesn't, but some days, though, I'm just like, why am I even doing this? It's just such a roller coaster. Sometimes I do miss just coming home from work and just turning off. I miss just being able to just turn off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything, but just being able to come home and I can't turn off. Right? Like, my day starts at 7:00 when I get up and the kids are driving me mad the second I open my eyes. And I drop them up to school. I come home at 8:00 and my work day starts.
Full on.
It's full on. And then I go pick my kids up sometimes and whatnot, and they got school practices. Soccer and sports practices and all this other nonsense to do as a dad and kids. And I come home, my wife comes home because she likes to she's a nurse and she likes to keep her skills up just in case something happens to me, that she has a little bit of time with them. But then just like my mind just, I got to do this, got this new idea, and I got to do content, I got to create that content. Now I got to post this, post that, and whatnot. And it's hard. So sometimes I miss working with someone else because I can just come home and shut off. But
that is the big thing. I think every entrepreneur can relate to that. It is even if you're not actually physically doing anything, it's the mental thought processes. Maybe not everybody. Some people have mastered this and been able to I'm getting better. I mean,
I'm a lot when I
turn it off. I turn it off. I'm not dealing with notifications till tomorrow. That's it. It's funny. You have to set your boundaries. Otherwise, it can feel like a little bit 24/7. But it's funny. I didn't know that story about your knee, but I was a sports therapist for 27 years. And so the only thing I needed to do my job is my left thumb because I'm left-handed.
Oh, yeah.
And I was drunk on my birthday a couple of years ago and I fell out myself. I can't blame anybody, Marcus. It was purely my fault. I tripped out of the house, fell over, laughed, saying, at least I didn't break my ankle because I was just recovering from an ankle injury, rolled over and my left thumb was fully dislocated. Now, that would have been an easy fix, should have been an easy fix, except I forced it back because I didn't want my daughters who were in front of me to see my thumb in the wrong direction. And then when I went to the hospital, it should have been an easy fix to just fix the top bone of the thumb on top of the bottom one. No, he snapped it. whilst trying to. So for me, that was the universe going, Karen, you're not listening. You're not meant to be going that way. But I find it really funny when I hear stories like that, because I'm like, I get it. Because it might have felt like the worst thing in the world. Safe job, as you said. You had a safe job, making loads of money. And then, I can't do that. Which for a lot of people, that would be a real hard thing. But so then turning your side, I love hearing stories like that. Then you're forced, because do you not find that some people, when they're building a business, they're just too comfortable because they might have a job.
Yeah. Comfort is the enemy of progress.
Yeah.
It's the enemy of progress. Yeah, it's like the arch nemesis of progress. When we first started Tide Marketer, we did pretty well in the beginning because,
you had to.
Events, but then COVID-19 came. And we were like barely keeping our heads above water because we had a lot of our clients had to shut up shop, couldn't advertise. We did a lot of events. So we did a lot of live 2-day, 3-day events. We couldn't do that. We couldn't have a room of 50 people, 150 people. We couldn't do that. So we're like, how are we supposed to do this? We went to the virtual space and that was great, but it's a different environment. It's a different atmosphere when you're trying to present and sell in a virtual space. The energy is totally different when you're in a room with someone. 3-day events and 2-day events in person, just us and our audiences, because we're giving tons of value. And then at the end of that 3 days, they're just eating out of your hand. They're eating, and we don't sell our events. We don't sell. Right? People just go, how to work with you? 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 Oh yeah, well here, book a call.
Brilliant.
And so it's just a good friend of mine named Andrew. He's with 3-day events. On the 3rd day, you can throw up on them and they'll still buy from you. So I was like, oh, I never heard that before, but it's the truth. But we couldn't do that. And so it was really hard for me because my income just plummeted. I could go work at Kohl's or a grocery store, Woolies, and get paid more money than what I was getting when I was making. My employees, right, they were getting more money out of the business than I was. Right? And there were months where I was putting my own money into the business to pay for marketing or to pay my employees. And I was just like, what the hell am I doing? Like my mind logically was going, mate, you got 4 kids, you got family of 6, you got to feed, you got to go back to work. And I could literally put my application in or my resume in, pick up a job just like that. Right? Easy. But then 3 ounce of my being was like, mate, if you do that, there's a short-term gain and a long-term loss.
Yeah.
It's short-term gratification. And so I'm a quite spiritual person. And so I prayed and pondered and thought, and I just, for ages, just thought about this. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then I just said, no, stop it. I'm going to burn all my bridges. I'm going to keep going. Now, I've come this far. This is happening for a reason. So I just kept going. And then eventually COVID came out and it got good again. It slowly got good again. It took a lot of late night, like still does, late nights and, shouldering a lot of responsibility and burden. But yeah, it's coming good again. It's come good again. So it's
worth it.
It's an absolute emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah, I can relate. That I suppose this is the trouble with going out on your own. It is a risk, but the rewards when it's working so out.
It's so much better, man. It's much better. But you get out what you put in. It's like with anything worthwhile having, takes effort and time and work and diligence and patience.
And that is the misconception, isn't it? And I'll admit, when I first started in the online world, it was like, oh my goodness, you can, you can sell to many. The world is your oyster. There's, that's what everyone's great. That was definitely what the reason I was in it for. But we were focusing on organic marketing, and then what we found was, and then if you start doing that and you do start getting results, you can't keep up. You can't keep up. It's just never ending. Notifications on your phone. I can't live like that. I wish, I suppose, that originally I'd just gone into ads, because to me now, it's the short route. Why waste all that time and energy? But admittedly, I tried Facebook ads years ago for something completely different and lost money, and I understand now, totally not doing it well. But explain, because obviously I'm sure most of the people who are listening, they've probably run Facebook ads or given it a go and lost money. So what is the main difference between YouTube advertising and Facebook advertising?
YouTube advertising is awesome. Facebook isn't. No, I'm joking. Not that I'm biased. No. So the biggest difference was a couple of things, actually. So targeting is the first one. So with YouTube targeting, you can target people who are in the market to buy your product or services. Right. So you understand, YouTube advertising is done on the Google Ads network. Now, Google has information on everyone about all sorts. So if I go to Google and I type in the search bar overseas or whatever, okay, Google knows I'm in the market to travel, okay, or I'm in the market to buy a house, okay, or if I'm trying to solve a problem, Google knows what problem I'm trying to solve. Okay. Oh, and Google knows what websites I visit. Okay, so if I'm using Chrome, or if the website I've been visiting has Google Analytics connected to it, or anything like that, Google knows it. Google sees me and knows that I'm visiting that website. Okay, so they have that data. And what they do is they give that data to their advertisers, right? So they don't say, Marcus Svedin. As an advertiser, you don't see their name, but it'll put me as a Google user in certain buckets of targeting. So if someone's interested in reaching out to people who are looking to buy a house, I'm in that bucket. So they can show their ads to me, right? I love fishing and diving. Right? So I get a lot of ads about fishing and diving on Display Network, on YouTube and whatnot, and Facebook as well. But as an advertiser, say, for example, as a type marketer, I like to target people who are doing Facebook advertising. Okay, so what do? I target keywords. I target people who typed in certain search terms on the Google search bar, and I show them my ads. I target the Facebook Ads app manager, the Facebook Ads Manager app, right? Anyone using that app, I can show them my ads. Right? If there are any high-ticket coaches who are in the Facebook space, I target their websites. I target their landing pages, the URLs. I show their users my ads, right? And then what I do is I tailor my message around, hey, are you struggling with Facebook ads? Is Facebook advertising turning your hair 50 shades of gray, right? So I tailor a message specifically for a Facebook audience, right? Another thing is, I can go on for about targeting, right? So targeting is the biggest thing. I can target income brackets. I can target top 10, 20, 30, 40, 50% of income households in America, Australia, UK, right, Canada, New Zealand, right? You can target that. So effectively, you can target people who are looking for your product, you can target people who are ready to buy your product, who have the money to buy your product or services.
Then now that's probably quite a big thing for a lot of coaches out there, isn't it?
For coaches.
Yeah.
Yes. Most of our student clients are our coaches. And so that's the biggest thing. The next biggest thing would be due to advertising is more robust. So it's easier to scale, right, in the long term. So the one thing that Facebook has on YouTube is that it's easier to start with YouTube and it's easier to get results quicker with YouTube. The problem when you get stuck in is when you start to scale higher. So when you want to start scaling to $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $1,000 a day, that's when you have a problem with Facebook. Yeah, it's a longer game. So it's a bit harder to get into, a bit harder it takes a bit more warming up to warming up the process. But once it gets going, it's like a diesel engine, man. Once it gets going, it just goes and goes and goes. As long as you keep feeding the beast, it'll just go. So that's probably one thing that Facebook has on YouTube. But and the quality of traffic you get from YouTube is so much better because of the mindset of the user, right? So most people go to YouTube to find an answer to a problem. Answer to a question, solution to a problem, right? 75% of all searches on YouTube, or roughly 75%, is like how to. Begins with how to, right? And so I just type in how to YouTube ads. Oh, look, here's a course on YouTube ads by us. Oh, how do I do Facebook ads? Oh, how do I scale my Facebook ads? Oh, are you struggling to scale your Facebook ads? Oh, look, you try YouTube ads. Check this out. So the quality of traffic, the scalability of it, it's the targeting is just
sounds superior to
superior to Facebook. So I mean, mind you, don't get me wrong, we use Facebook as well. We use it for retargeting purposes, not for reaching out to audiences.
So shall I tell you my fear, I suppose?
I love hearing
with YouTube. And it's probably really ridiculous, but this could come from imposter syndrome or but it's like, I don't know, there's some kind of, I'll do video all day long, I'll do a Facebook Live, no problem. I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking, YouTube ads, I don't know, there's a fear of being judged because the Facebook ads that I see are like really professional or they're like really big names. And I think, little old me, I can't do a YouTube ad.
No. You don't want professional ads, but you want authentic, real looking ads. See, people today crave two things, okay? Authenticity and truth. Those are the two things that people crave the most today, right? And when you have I'll jump on my phone. Anyways, when you have a YouTube ad that's shot on a phone, right, in your office or at a park or at the beach or wherever it is you shoot, right? It makes you more authentic, right? And people trust you more because you're on YouTube, you're in front of the camera, or you look real, you feel real, you sound real. Okay? You'll convert better with a more amateur looking ad than a Coca-Cola produced type video.
Okay.
So
there you go, perception.
Exactly. No, so one of our best performing ads we've ever created was one of the first ads we've ever did. And it was literally at 1 a.m. Me and Ben, we were just like getting into YouTube. We're like, we've been researching how to do YouTube ads for a month and a half, right? And so we had our script, and like, let's just sit, we should wait till tomorrow. And I would shoot it now. It was 1 a.m. And Ben did it, and he looked crap. But we're like in front of like this whitewashed board, and we had our little message on it, and then we had our script, and the script was too long, and it was just, oh man. But that ad made us 6 figures. That one ad made us 6 figures in 2 months with YouTube.
Wow.
And that's when we were like, what? Like, where have you been all my life? And so you don't need fancy, schmancy, schmicko ads. All right. You just get an ad out there, get a script, shoot it, edit it. Right? You can put B-roll in there and whatnot, and then put it out there. And then the more you do, you get better at it and better at it and better at it, more comfortable with it. And then it just works a lot better. Works a lot better with more authentic looking ads.
Isn't that so? It's again. I know it's just my silly fears. It's yeah. And do you think that's why that most people aren't doing YouTube ads? Maybe with Facebook ads, they don't have to put themselves out there. They can just put an image up and some text. So again, and I'm sure I did in the beginning, it was like the idea of online marketing. Oh, I can hide behind my screen. Now we do 3 shows a week and I'll do video, I'll do live, I don't care. Because I've obviously got over that fear of being judged and that, but I don't know, in my own head, it's silly. Again, it's something I need to get over. But what are some of the other YouTube ad misconceptions that other people tend to have?
I wouldn't say it's a misconception, but people don't know how to do it. And they don't know how to do it. Or they've tried it and they just tanked at it because they did it wrong. So it's a lot harder to get into YouTube because you have to create a script, like a proper script. And then you have to shoot that script. You have to get in front of the camera, which scares the crap out of a lot of people. Okay? But if you're a coach or a consultant, or you're the face of your business, well, then you need to take a cement pill, harden up, and get over it. Because if you're the face or a coach, people are going to work with you. Being scared to be on camera is easily overcome through just doing it. And so that's probably the hardest thing is people have to create a script and they have to shoot the video. That's the biggest barrier to entry with YouTube ads. After that, once you have your video, you just create a campaign and upload your campaign and away you go. So that's the biggest barrier. And as you said with Facebook, you just put on a post, a picture, an image, whatever, some text, copy, hit the button, go to your landing page, away you go. It's a lot easier. Same thing like Google search ads, same thing. Just text, copy, you put your URL in there and away you go. It's easy. But the best things in life are never easy.
So you feel that they get better results, you're going to get better results getting in front of the camera, getting over your fear. It's weird, isn't it? I haven't got a fear of being on camera. But I don't know, there's something about, again, it just goes to show that we create these stories in our heads because, I don't know, I can get away with it in face. I feel, this is just my perception, it's, I can feel I can get away with going live and doing video on Facebook, which is weird because these videos go out on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's it.
But somehow in my head is this like mental block of, oh yeah, because I see the top people doing YouTube, and I click on, or obviously I suppose it depends on what I'm looking at. If I'm looking at something to do around self-development, yeah, it's going to be, I don't know, some of the big names that are coming up and you think, oh yeah, see, I couldn't do Facebook, I couldn't do YouTube ads.
That's right. No, you don't want to be like them. You don't want to be like them. So you can model them. Like you can model their messaging, and you can model how their ad is structured and that sort of thing. But you put your own stuff in it. You put your own personality, your own copy, your own words into it. So you don't want to be like the big wigs. You don't need a Tony Robbins video ad or a Russell Brunson video ad or what's his bucket? I can't remember his name now. Grant Cardone or Alex Hormozy ad. You just, I mean, even if you look at Alex Hormozy's stuff, they're all like, he's like in a singlet, just talking smack. I love his stuff. But it's authentic, it's real, and that's what people want. They want authentic and real. And that's exactly what YouTube ads shot off the phone with a microphone. As long as your audio is good, like if you got really good audio, that's important. Right. But if if your picture's not like, super 401, 4K, doesn't make a difference. Like I've done an ad off of this desktop camera. I've done an ad off it, and it worked well. So, yeah.
So it's easier than you think. So get over your stories that you're telling yourself, Karen. I'm talking to myself here. Yeah, it's the same like podcasting. You don't even have a great. This isn't. If I was starting again, I would have got a Blue Yeti. But as long as the mic's good enough, It's like, what actually do you need? As long as the audio is okay, then that's really it. We're funny creatures. Again, I'm talking about myself here. Overcomplicating things. Why do we overcomplicate?
Overcomplicate things.
So, with your agency, how do you help businesses grow then, and how to scale with setting up their YouTube ads? How do you go about it?
So, what we do is, I like coaching. We focus more on coaching rather than an agency. I like agency, but I just love teaching this to business owners because as a business owner, the lifeblood of your business is traffic, right? And so you want to take the helm of your own business. You need to learn how to do traffic. I mean, you can give it to an agency, but then you're at their whim. Like you'll have no idea what they're talking about, what they're doing, and you get lost. And then the communication is terrible. And I've heard it all. Which is why I like coaching, because then I empower business owners to, drive their own traffic, to understand how it works. So what we do basically is we teach business owners how to not just run YouTube traffic, okay? Not just how to create a $1 million YouTube ad script, how to shoot it, how to get it edited, how to create the campaigns, how to do the targeting, all that nonsense, right? We also teach them how to convert that traffic, right? So it's all good to run this amazing YouTube traffic, right? But if your sales process, tanks and it just doesn't work because there's a bottleneck number that you don't know about, it's not going to be profitable. It's not going to convert. Right. So we help them scale with YouTube ads by helping them optimize their sales process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, for example, one of the most profitable sales funnels that we run is a book a call funnel. Simple book a call funnel. Book a call. Yeah, book a call. So what we do is we run YouTube traffic to a landing page that talks about a training, instant training on YouTube ads. They go to the training. We get the name, email, phone number. They go to the training, and they watch the training go for maybe 45 minutes, whatever it may be, and then at the bottom of the training, there's a button that says, "Hey, book a call with us." More or less, if you want to take you to business next level YouTube ads, or how to just click here and book a call. And so we're getting book calls every day based off of YouTube traffic going to this funnel. And it's very simple to set up, very easy. You can quickly build a list using it. And so then what you do after that is you then call them up. So people who don't book a call, you call them up and you say, "Hey, I noticed you were checking out the training on YouTube ads, and how'd you find it? What are you looking to advertise on YouTube ads? Oh, that's perfect. Oh, we can help you. Do you want to discover if you can be profitable with YouTube ads before you even start? And most are like, "Oh yeah, that'd be great. Oh sweet. Well, let's jump on a call. Oh cool. When? Oh, tomorrow. This time. Done." No, and it's not always that easy, obviously, but a lot of times that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, it makes sense that they want to solve this problem that you're giving them training on. They are a hot lead. They're a hot lead.
Exactly. And so that's one of the easiest things that you can possibly run as a coach or a consultant or whatever, is just a book a call funnel.
to fill your calendar, because that is it, you know. Although many coaches, like you said, is they don't actually understand the sales process. They don't know how to run a sales call or strategy call. They don't know how to close. They might have got into what they're doing because they want to help everybody and they're highly qualified. They could have a really great program, but they absolutely suck at sales. And I know for our we talk about the woo a lot. So I'm dealing with a lot of therapists, healers, again, who have this, they want to heal the world, but yet you still got to get paid because you still got to pay a mortgage.
Exactly
Your bank manager doesn't care that you want to heal the world. They still want their money at the end of the month. And there's definitely a block because they don't, it's crazy, isn't it? They go and spend thousands qualifying as whatever type of coach or consultant that they are. And some might, depending on what type of therapist or healer they are, they might spend years in training. And yet there's no training on sales. And it's like, look, if you're in business, you're in sales. Learn the process.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. If you learn sales, you will never be out of money. If you learn how to sell, you can write your own paycheck every week, as much as you want. But you have to learn to sell. And that takes time. And that takes practice, which means talking to people, which means getting out of your comfort zone, which means dealing with the pain and don't complain. You know, it's
getting on calls.
I'm getting on calls. I'm telling you, Karen, anyone listening to this, it gets easier. The more you do it, it gets so much easier because you learn what the objections are. You learn what they are, okay? And you learn how to deal with those, okay? And then once you learn how to deal with objections, you know, that's the hardest part is dealing with the objections. And so once you learn how to deal with objections, it's a lot easier. And you're going to get embarrassed, man. You're going to be times that you're going to get embarrassed. It's going to be painful. And you're going to lose a sale because you stuffed up. But you'll learn from it. So a lot of times people will invest their money into learning stuff. Okay? You need to invest your time and your pride into learning how to sell. Talking to people. So, yeah.
So like you say, well, you said something very important there is the fact that it takes practice. You can't just read another book about doing it. You can't just watch another video about doing it. Can't just go and buy another course about doing it until you actually do it and experience it and learn from it and understand that you're not going to get it right the first time or the second time or the third time. But you keep doing, and when you get that first result, then it's like, and then you've got a system, and it's, well, hey. So,
just real quick, I want to touch on two. There are two things in life that will influence a person most. Right, the books they read, the people they hang out with. Okay, so there are two books that I've read that have dramatically increased my profitability in business. The first one is called How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay.
Oh, is that no?
Dale Carnegie. I think Dale Carnegie.
Oh, thank you.
Dale Carnegie, I think it's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Everyone should do it. Everyone. Every teenager, every high school student needs to read that book. Okay. If you want to get sales, read that book. The next book is called, I think it's called $100 Million. Is it $100 Million Offers? I think it is, by Alex Hormozi. It's how to craft an offer. How to craft an offer and how to sell an offer. Okay? Those two books will make you more money, or have made me more money than anything else. I know I've read those two books and I applied those two books into my practice. You read them, right?
There's the key.
Yeah, but then you apply it to your trade, you apply it to your practice, to your sales.
And how many times have you read it? Because again, people read these things once. How many times have you read that book?
I've read Alex Hormozi's $100 Million Offer twice, and I've read How to Win Friends and Influence People about 4 times. Audible, right?
Yeah.
But it's just, yeah.
That is.
It's when you talk about learning all this stuff and reading it, this and that. That's when those two ideas, those books came to mind. But Yeah, those 2 books, best thing ever, best investment ever.
And that's it. The best thing, you've got to invest in yourself. You've got to invest in yourself. I don't know. There seems to be, there's so much noise out there. There's so many coaches out there, and they're all trying to make their stand. But I'm sure they are, if they're not there already, they're about to hit burnout badly.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to waste so much time on social media is going to bring in the bucks. Well, find me someone, I'm doing something wrong then, because if I just used that as my strategy, I'd be broke and homeless.
Yeah, organic content is great, but it's a very long-term, slow burn strategy. I started doing my own YouTube channel last March. I've always been direct marketing the whole time, like just ads. And then someone was like, I don't see you. Like, they looked me up. Maybe we should put some stuff out there just for
validation.
Yeah.
Just for validation.
Exactly. So that's why I started my YouTube channel and whatnot. But I just want to touch on another thing. I'm not sure how much time we have left, but one of the best ways that a coach or consultant or any type of business owner can do is increase their prices. Right. So what I mean by that is the more a client is worth to you, the easier it is to advertise and to sell. So it is 100 times easier for me to sell a $10,000 product than a $1,000 product. Right? I can sell $10,000 product off a 1 hour call. Right? Whereas with a $1,000 product, it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder. The reason being it's a lot harder is A, the mindset of people who are buying a $1,000 product for a $10,000 product is completely different. Right? So when I come across a coach or a consultant who are selling products for $497 or $997 or like a 4-week course for $1,000 or whatever it may be, I go, dude, if they're willing to give you $1,000, they'll give you $2,000. Like, it's not much of a jump. They'll give you $2,000. If someone's willing to give you $3,000, they'll give you $5,000. Like, it's not in the mind. It's not that big of a jump. So you want to look at what your prices are. Okay, how much are you selling for? Are you selling yourself short? Because no joke, one of our students taught couples how to have babies naturally who couldn't normally do it. They were looking at IVF and whatnot, and they were struggling to have children. Okay, it's probably one of the most emotional things any human being can ever discuss or go through, right? Is having children. I have 4 of them, I know. They still call me lots of emotion. So, anyways, he had a 92% success rate. And he came to us and offered the youth test. I'm like, yeah, great. How much are you selling the course for? I'm just like, how much is your stuff for? He's like, oh, about $2,000. I'm like, dude, you should like 10x that. Like, at least 5x it. Like, you're literally helping parents or people who want to be parents have children without being stabbed with needles, going to doctors, paying $20,000 to be stabbed with needles and go to doctors. Right? Like, you should but his mindset behind doing that, of increasing his price, is it really worth that much? Is my knowledge really worth it? Hell yeah, it is. And so a lot of us coaches, and we were the same thing when we first started, right? We sell ourselves short because we have imposter syndrome, or we don't think we're not that good or whatever. But you are that good, and your knowledge is worth that much. So don't sell yourself short, because if you sell yourself short, it's going to make your life a lot harder than it needs to be. And sometimes you don't have to jump that much. If a client is normally worth $1,000 and you boost it up to $2,000, right? So instead of $1,997, you boost it up to $2,997, whatever it may be. That's extra money in your bank, and that jump it's not even a blip on the person's mind because they're already willing to give you that $2,000. An extra $1,000 is not going to make a difference, and they're not going to earn any different. They're not going to earn any different. So look at how much you're selling not selling yourself, but look how much you're selling your knowledge for. Okay, and just test it out. If you have a process that's already working, a sales process already working, just bump your price up a little bit and see if it makes any difference. Okay, we had another client of ours. They're an agency client of ours. They sell how to buy Australian-made products for Asian prices. So without having to import from Asia, helping boost the Australian economy and whatnot. So they've been only running virtual events. They sell their products for $10,000. Okay. They did a test. They tested out one event to see if it helped the conversion. So they went from $10,000 to $15,000. The conversion rate, if I'm lying, I'm dying.
No.
Exactly the same. No, it didn't go up.
Oh.
Exactly the same. So they got they spent the same amount of money on advertising, boost their prices up by 50%, and they made 50% more money on that same amount. So now they're like, oh, it doesn't hurt, so we'll just keep it up. Right. So examine your prices. Examine how much you're selling your knowledge for. And you're probably selling yourself way too short. And if you think you are, just test it out. Try it. Boost it up. A few $100, $1,000, whatever.
And that, again, Kate, just comes from practice. Look, I did the same. Although, I would have said we're just starting out. So we've got to get people in, to get testimonials, to get it started. But then what happens from that is also then maybe the quality of the people that you're taking on, they're not as committed. And so what we found was, they just weren't committing to it. We've got the radio station, so for instance, we're like, you can have a weekly slot and we'll create your podcast channel. And then we're doing all this stuff and we've got some people that haven't even published their first one because they thought it was an idea. It was very reasonable, too reasonable, but then they not implemented because they weren't at that mindset. Or they weren't promoting, they weren't doing because they didn't really have that understanding of social media marketing because you're going for that level. So the difference and I suppose it comes from only practice and how it makes you feel and what the results that you're going to get. And then it's like, do you know what? Let's up the price and do more of a done for you. And then people want to save their time, especially if they're making the money. The next thing is they want their time back. But it is a massive mindset shift because in the beginning you're like, again, I've obviously got some issues, Marcus.
I don't want to say anything,
Talking about this imposter syndrome, in the beginning it's like, little old me. So maybe there's some stuff that I need to work on.
But seriously, if you have if clients who give us a lot of money are so much better to deal with than clients who give us $1,000 a month, right? Like when people are giving you like $1,000 a month or $500 a month, they think they own you. They think they own you, right? Whereas someone who's just giving you $5,000, 10, 20 grand, right? There's a different relationship there. There's the coach-student relationship, and the mindset of the person is different. And then so when they jump on a call with you, or they'll email, it's okay if we talk? Like the whole vocabulary they use is completely different. And there's so much better to deal with and easier to deal with. And they take up a lot less of your time. And so I have 2 rules of business, okay? Fun and money. Okay, and if I'm not making money, I'm not having fun. If I'm not having fun, I'm usually not making any money. So I only deal with people that I can have fun with. Right? And I've dealt with clients who've given me $1,000 a month and clients who've given me $10,000 a month. I'll tell you right now, those who give me the most amount of money are so much better. Like the far better clients to deal with. They take up a lot less of my time. They listen to me. They do what they're told. Whereas my $1,000 clients, they were paying my rear end because they think they own me. And so I don't have $1,000 clients a month anymore.
Right.
So the more you value your time, the more you value your knowledge, the more money you're going to make, and the better quality people you're going to deal with.
And the happier you'll be.
And
because, you be. Like you say, you're at work. I do have the best job in the world. I love it. And I get to speak to just people like yourself, learning new stuff. Every show I do, I just get to speak to the most amazing people that are doing amazing things within their community, serving their communities. They're all servers. They're all serving their community. So, I absolutely love what I do. So you've... I've had Ben on the show before and it's piqued my interest. And now I'm like,
lighting a fire.
Maybe I should look at YouTube ads. Get over yourself, Karen. Get out of your own way, which is normally always the issue, isn't it? With anybody, you're in your own way. Get out. Get out of the way.
Your worst enemy is your worst enemy.
Yeah. True.
And that's what we were. I used to be my worst enemy and my worst critic. And sometimes I still am my worst. Sometimes I still am my harsh critic. And I'm like, oh man, that's really, that sucks, whatever. But then my clients are like, that was amazing. I'm like, oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, so you've got to give yourself a pat on the back every now and then. Not big the heart with yourself. Thank you for your time. And I know, obviously, we're totally different time zones for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time today. And guys, so, anybody, I know most of our listeners are other coaches and consultants. As you guys know, we've got Mintwave Radio. If you want a show, if you want your own podcast, maybe you can promote your podcast using YouTube ads. Would that work?
It's probably not the best idea for that.
Okay. I'm gonna cut that.
Here. Do not use YouTube ads. Okay, I wouldn't use it to promote podcasts. Don't use it to sell books. Don't use it for affiliate marketing, drop shipping. Don't use it for e-commerce if the product is under $500. Right? There are certain things you don't really want to use. Like I said, you want to use YouTube's best for selling $2,000+ high ticket offers. That's the best thing to do for YouTube ads.
Oh, there you go. So, go to the website above if you want to get weekly updates on who is going to be my guest coming up. And obviously you can download the Alexa skill, then you can just ask her to play Mintwave Radio. So thanks for your time. I will be back on Thursday with a Coffee with Karen. Bye for now.
The Coffee with Karen podcast, a weekly chat show discussing everything from holistic health to current affairs from a mental, physical and spiritual perspective. Get your weekly cup of positivity with a sprinkling of woo-woo.